Hey Sagittarius, welcome. Welcome to March. I hope Pisces season has been treating you good. Hopefully. It gets weird this time of year. I know, it gets weird. It's fine. It's almost over. Let's see what comes out for you. Okay, feeling confused maybe. I don't know. I know you guys experienced some pretty intense stuff, especially during eclipse season in January. And I think a lot of Sagittarians got kind of thrown off track a little bit. Like maybe their business still working out, their relationship still working out, things going well. But it was also like an overcorrection of something. And that overcorrection might have been like you're still getting corrected a little bit. And you're still finding that true kind of straight and narrow path in front of you. Be careful not to get too all in your thoughts about stuff. You know, if you find yourself doing this sort of contradictory dialogue where on one day you're saying one thing and making all sorts of justifications and rationalizations for one thing, and then 2 days later it's like completely the opposite. And if you're finding yourself doing any kind of back and forth up here, just relax. Right now is not a good time. Mercury retrograde time against Neptune, like it's just so not a good time to be all trying to figure stuff out, right? This is definitely a time to lift your hands off the wheel and say, okay, universe, I have faith. Like I'll do my part. I'll show up every day. I'll look my best. I'll put on my best attitude. I'll be positive and all of that. But like you can take the wheel. Because I think that whenever anyone gets lost in this dialogue, right, they're not at peace. And it's best for anyone, Sagittarius and anyone else, it's best for anyone to be at peace. Because that's when you have clarity, and that's when you feel really good about the things that you want to do, and that's when you feel like, okay, I'm on track, you know, all of that. You start feeling good. Now is a time of setting intentions. So it's not even really about what you want to do, but rather, because the things that you do are all external, right? The relationships external, the businesses external. If you figure out how to use the magician energy to manifest things internally, like peace of mind, like manifesting peace of mind, manifesting stillness, manifesting new levels and new layers of consciousness and awareness, the life part or the external part will just take care of itself. When someone is at peace, they make more money, right? When they get rid of fears, they make more money and they succeed. They succeed more. They're more happy in their relationships. So redirecting all this energy inward during Pisces season is going to be very beneficial for you. And as a fire sign and in general, you know, Jupiter ruled, you know, Jupiter in your sign, having so much like adventure and life experiences and connecting with other people, like there is a lot going on out there. But Jupiter rules Dharma, like the easy kind of stuff, the free-flowing energies, the easy and the abundant energies. So utilizing the easy, free-flowing energies internally is going to make up in the external world quite rapidly. It actually does happen very fast once you start learning how to do it and you start learning how to use the magician energy to its maximum potential. I feel like I should do a podcast about the magician and manifestation because I think people waste a lot of their manifestation power on stuff. Like, why are we spending so much time manifesting outside stuff? I don't get it. I don't know. I really don't. Hierophant. Being in your seat of power. Look, there's not a lot of information coming out here about who you're dealing with, your romantic partnerships, your money situations. Like, there's no information coming out about that, okay? This is about you, your internal ability or your ability to sit firmly Sagittarius does get involved, right? You're a very involved sign. You're often like someone's best friend. You're someone people can go to for advice. You're someone that people look up to. Is kind of like, I wish I had their life kind of thing, right? You can be very involved. But with the Scorpio in the 12th house, as I always say with you guys, full spectrum of the depths of Scorpio and the super, super heights of Sagittarius. You're the only one that goes like the full way. And this is actually probably leaning or erring more on the side of Scorpio. It's more inside. And while still tons of stuff going on out there, this control that maybe you haven't ever really had before, this observer, this watching, right? You know how they always say, like, make sure your awareness is always in the seat of the witness, witnessing you thinking your thoughts, witnessing you feeling your emotions, witnessing you living your life. And I always say this too, just because you're on the roller coaster doesn't mean you are the roller coaster, right? You are not the roller coaster. And that's what this is coming out and saying. That I don't care how drama oriented or how drama free your life is right now. The more you can sit in that seat of awareness, the easier everything is going to be. The less lonely you feel, the more happy you feel, the more joyful you feel, the more abundant you feel. Because you just feel that happiness and that gratitude for being alive. Experiences, good or bad, like the up parts of a roller coaster kind of are what make it exciting, right? The difficult parts, the challenging parts. That's the reason why you can have the exciting parts. Things are about to move forward rapidly. So all the change that happened in January was kind of like in this up in the air during Aquarius season. And then we moved into Pisces now. And it's like, okay, still finding our footing, still finding our grounding. Like, I don't know how firmly planted Sagittarius feels right now, just because there was that correction. But it's all about to come together. See, Mercury retrograde brings things out of the woodwork. And especially in Pisces, it's going to be happening a lot. And you've probably already started noticing it. Like, oh my God, that person's trying to reach out. You're hearing from them. You're hearing from that office. They're emailing you. They're sending you Instagram DMs, like whatever they're doing. The contact is happening. And because those things are coming in, you're going to be propelled forward. But now is not a time to make major decisions. Okay, now is just a time to just simply watch and to really see how it unfolds, because as you work on the internal stuff with this magician energy, you're going to see that 8 of Wands. It's like, let's see how good it can get. How good can it really get? How good of a partnership could you really manifest, right? Simply because you're doing the inner stuff. How good of a job? How good of a relocation opportunity? How good of a new apartment? Like, how good can we really get? And it's almost like a challenge to the universe, because I think the courage that Sagittarius has incurred over the past few months has been monumental. And you've grown into this feeling of courage. Being a courageous sign normally, like, this is a new level of courage. And when you tell the universe or show through display how courageous you actually are, look what happens. Even courage to walk away, courage to lose, courage to fail. It does take courage to do that stuff. A lot of people cling and they're like, no, I can't fail. I can't fail. I can't fail. I can't let it go. I can't just let this be it. Clearly you guys walked away from something, or you are leaving an era behind you with grace, a lot of grace and eloquence. So because of that, change is imminent. It's an inevitability. And I think you're witnessing it in a beautiful way. So what else? Could this be any better of a reading? I don't even know. Stars are aligning. Right? Opportunities are like, this is a card where I always say, just like sit and watch the miracles happen. Sit and watch the dial turning. It's like when you have one of those old school radios and you have to like manually get the frequency like just right. Watch as the dial is turning and that music becomes crystal clear. That's what's happening. Your music is becoming crystal clear. Your melody, your life. Watch as the blessings, as the water and the Eight of Wands, watch as they materialize. I always say this is a card of hopes and wishes coming true one small miracle at a time. Connecting the dots, There's a famous quote, John Green, I think it is. My thoughts are but stars I cannot fathom into constellations. So when you have a lot of random things going on, a lot of like seemingly disconnected events happening, please know that they are far from being disconnected. They are far from being unrelated. They are absolutely related. You don't have to spend time extracting meaning and trying to figure it all out and doing your whole like philosophy thing. Like you don't have to do that. That's going to happen naturally. Just allow the lines to be drawn so that you can make out the whole image. It's happening fast. Aries season, Taurus season, and then especially as Mars makes his way into Gemini, I think you're going to start seeing like snowballs of activity, snowballs of changes. All the brainstorming and all the things happening right now are so important because they're the things that are opening the doors. Okay, I know this is a pretty open-ended reading. It's like we've got 3 out of 5 major arcana, and there's no like person coming out. So I don't really know exactly who's involved or what, but maybe right now it's just an inner journey and that's it. And maybe your whole life is just going to stay the same on the outside. Another major arcana. So we get the High Priest, masculine, and the High Priestess, feminine. Masculinity is about a sense of wonder, a sense of exploration, which you're great at. High Priestess is about receiving. She is a universe to be explored that's very much below the surface, full spectrum. This is not a combination for Sagittarius. I don't know what is. And allowing your universe to be explored. Your intuition is super on point. There may be an element of keeping your mouth shut this month. Not like having a lot of control over the things that are being said. Very important anyway. It's more important to listen and to receive. Yes, the Hierophant and the masculine, and if I can say the words, the masculine essence here does have that kind of outward thing, that outward flow, especially in combination with the Magician, very, very masculine. Even her too, right? You have masculine on either side, if I can do this right. This is actually 1 and 2, masculine, feminine. Interesting how that's happening, showing a great deal of balance. I think the desire for action, though, is going to be outweighing the desire for receiving, but right now this is actually the most important with the star coming out, with the water being poured. The water is being poured out. You just have to allow yourself to be nourished, all right? If there is some secrecy coming out, if there is some something that, like I said, it's not necessarily the best time to be saying a lot of things. Like, obviously be honest, but I don't really think people are handling honesty very well. And they're not handling constructive criticism. They're not handling ideas because they may misinterpret ideas as criticism. And it's just going to get so bizarre. And personalities are going to start igniting and egos start, defending themselves. It's just like, it's best not to just play that game. Beautifully, the Hierophant, the witness coming through and saying, it's not worth it. Like, don't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Sagittarius being very much like, okay, Like, y'all do what you got to do. I'm not going to play. I'm not going to play that. I'm not going to play that game. I'm just not putting you in the seat of power here. Not only within yourself, but within any kind of relationships too. Okay, got 2. First of all, let's talk about the 7 of Swords. Why is there fear? How can you be afraid of something like the 6 of Cups, which can often be so beautiful? 6 of Cups seems to indicate that, Scorpio had this too, and it makes sense, Scorpio 12th house, that the Scorpionic themes. I'm actually really noticing 12th house themes being carried over. It's really funny how I'm like, oh, I don't know, it's not like I'm just picking this up, but I'm just starting to talk about it. Like if you are a Sagittarius ascendant, you might want to watch the Scorpio reading, even if you have no planets in there, just because that's really what's going on below the surface. And clearly there's a message of things happening below the surface. So check it out. It may resonate. Because this card came out with that too. Past connection. Something is not dead. Something is being resurrected, actually, which often happens in Mercury retrograde seasons. Things come up for resolution. There's a part of you that seems to be pulled in. For some reason, this 6 of Cups has gravity. There's an undeniable desire to be there, and yet you're looking in the other direction. Why? What do I feel with this? Hold on, let me think on this for a second. What am I really feeling? I feel like your heart is pulling you to the 6 of Cups, but your mind is trying to not fall in. So there's a disconnect within yourself. Why is there fear around something that's clearly a gift? I often see the 6 of Cups as being a card of gift giving. And the universe gives you gifts. Someone else is trying to give you a gift. It could be a lesson, it could be a learning experience, sure. So what is this push-pull? We'll have to clarify this in the comprehensive for sure, get more information on it. Are you afraid? I was just looking at your stars for a second. Like, are you afraid of falling in love? Are you afraid of commitment? Sagittarius, afraid of a commitment? Are you afraid of hurt and pain? I don't often see Sagittarius second guessing themselves like this. Normally you're pretty much like, yeah, that's what I want. I'm going to go for it. And if I change my mind later, fine. But for now, I'm totally committed to that thing. So you just go for it. So this is actually an uncommon energy for you guys. Feeling unsure. And there may be a blockage of your heart. He does have those swords laying against his chest. There may be a blockage of your heart where you might not fully want to receive this because it means certain things, or you think it means something. Be so careful about extracting meaning. It's not going to be what you think it is. It's just not. That's not your job to do that right now. It's no one's job. So don't play that game with yourself. It's not worth it. It's going to be exhausting. One more. Beautiful. Are you afraid of losing? Is that what it is? You are at a 9 of coins. So that's where you're looking. Maybe worldly things, doing okay. And it doesn't mean that you're like super rich, doesn't mean that but I think in general, so much to be grateful for. And I think you genuinely feel it. Like, yeah, oh, I'm so grateful. But you also don't want to lose this course because you've worked so hard on getting to this space. You've worked so hard on your self-reliance, on your ability to be everything that you're wanting to be, just yourself without anyone else, like just you. So you've worked so hard. So when you're feeling this Piscean pull, this like unavoidable draw to someone or to something, or to let someone back in, or to open your heart to receive, when you're feeling this unavoidable thing, it is very natural, because it's like maybe the question is, how can I balance? Like, how can I have both? How can I be here and be here at the same time? How can I be completely self-contained and allow for connectivity and love and joy and peace in my heart? How can you do that? Right now, you don't need the answer. I'm not going to give you the answer because it's irrelevant. I don't have the answer. It's going to be different for each of you. That's why the magician is really important, because he says, whatever you want to manifest internally, maybe some of you want to balance out, like getting rid of this fear and getting rid of the notion that these have to be two different things. Right? Like, as an example, if I can use a personal example, hope you guys don't mind. Like a few years ago, like when I kind of started this channel, like there was this thing in my mind that was like, how can I balance like consistent income with freedom and not having to work every day? Like, how can I do that? How can I, and like, lo and behold, things worked out. So how can you manifest a situation where you can have complete autonomy and maintain your independence and your self-reliance, and also have this beautiful connection at the same time without losing? Like, how can you manifest both to the fullest? Because these should not be in opposition. They don't have to be, but maybe up to this point, you've seen them this way. You've seen that they are different. How can you be an adult and a child at the same time? How can you live in reality and fantasy at the same time? Because I think there's a fear that this is just a fantasy. It is just emotion. And so therefore it's not relevant, or therefore it doesn't matter. So you deny yourself this. But your mind is like, but if I give myself this, then I have to give up that. It's not the case. Use this power to manifest the balance between what you want and what you need. Okay? Now let me put the camera down. I'm doing something a little different this month for you guys. I got a new deck, and it's a very famous deck. Let me turn this camera around first, though. Yep. And I'm going to use this one for the supplemental content. Oh, okay. Queen of Coins. Oh, we got 4. Okay, so that's fine. Queen of Coins, 5 of Cups. Art, which is like Temperance, okay? And Death. Beautiful. So this is called the Thoth deck, just in case you want to know. Disappointment. Let's talk about that first. Because I do feel, while there is so many beautiful, like, oh my God, so many beautiful things happening here, I also know that you're perceiving a lot of changes happening, and there is a death of self. There is a rebirth happening as we speak. And this sort of portal that we're about to go through as the sun connects with Neptune, we've got, Venus in Aquarius now. There's just a lot of like wanting to really break free, which is why I think you don't perceive this as a modality for freedom. Like you don't see this as a vehicle. Connection. Seems to be more obligatory. The coins coming out, I often see the Queen of Coins and the Nine of Pentacles in a very similar fashion, right? This is indicative of a person who understands what it means to plant seeds and to let life just, like, you can make sure there's the right soil, the right amount of water, the right amount of sunlight, right? Like you can create the correct environment. Magician. You can create the environment for things to grow, but you can't make the things grow. That's what life does. That's cell reproduction. That's chemicals. That's all this stuff. Like you can't control that. So you have to just let life do its thing. And these are slower moving. Mars and Taurus in the 6th house for you guys. So yeah, it is earthly. It is slow moving. Death is often a very slow process as well. And I have a feeling that you experienced a major feeling of death in January during the eclipses. Just a lot of like release. But the rise of the phoenix part of this, right, coming up from the ashes, might not quite exactly be completely underway. It is slow. I was going to say something and I totally forgot what it was. You need to have faith in this process as much as you have faith in plants growing, right? Like I was just saying, you need to have faith in the whole thing. There may be an air of disappointment in terms of the fact that you don't have control. You don't have control over your heart wanting this. See, these are even the two things being displayed here by the swords. The more you think about it, you guys, the more difficult it's going to be. Wherever you feel magnetism, that's the feminine stuff coming out. Like, boom, a lot of femininity this month. You have to let the feminine do her work. When you are feeling pulled to something, which clearly you are, when you feel that magnetic field, let it take you. Fluidity, remember? Magnetism exists for a reason. Sometimes it displays in a feeling of desire, but more specifically a state of wonder, which is what I was saying before with the masculine energy. Feelings of wonder. The way we look out into the cosmos and wonder, like that's why, entire science is dedicated to what's out there, right? We wonder. And is a universe meant to be explored? And I feel like the star quality of the lilies here, like the star shape of the flowers, mirroring the stars of the coins, like don't misjudge. They're the same thing. The stars, the stars, the stars. Disappointment and death merely happens when we get so married and so locked into an idea of what we think something should be. Don't think about what this should be. Don't think, oh, I shouldn't want that, or I shouldn't go toward that, or I should be more inclined here. Like you're just keeping yourself in a little bit of a limbo land, and that's fine, just do what you got to do. But your card of temperance, right? Sagittarius energy is all about moderation. So if you are so heavily weighted here, so heavily weighted in your independence, in your feeling of self, then you actually are missing out on a completely different side of learning about self through other people. Do you see? So I'm wondering if the best choice for manifestation for you guys is to manifest obliterating any fear. To manifest a feeling of fluidity. Okay, let's start pulling clarifiers for all of these. Let's actually start by clarifying the Seven of Swords. It's not that intense of a reading, right? It's really not. It's not going to be a groundbreaking month for Sagittarius, which is welcome, I think. Like, let me just give me a chill month. Okay, I was like, did I put reversals in here? Yes, I did. Okay. There you are. See, you're even looking like why? Like, why play that Seven of Swords game with yourself? You're looking at the Six of Cups. The masculine and feminine. Okay. Okay. There's so much more stability here than you'll ever realize. There's no risk. There's no risk in engaging that thing from the past. You manifested it. What are you doing? Manifesting something and then pulling away from it? That's weird. Right? That's weird. Okay, clearly you're super on the fence about that Six of Cups. Yeah. You're not being real with yourself. What did I say? They're the same thing. You will find freedom through this connection, I promise you. It's not a prison. Simply not. It's a whole new way of being. It's a whole new way of feeling. It's a whole new way of existing. Nine of Coins reversed. It's all about the Nine of Coins with you, like the loss of losing. Oops, hold on. Had some flip over. Okay, for the Magician, Hierophant reversed, Knight of Pentacles. Just FYI, we're getting Taurus, Aquarius, a card of Virgo, Leo, Aries coming through. I love that Nine of Wands right there. That's a beautiful placement. Super excited about that. Any games that are being played, any drama in your life is going to be rooted in your lack of consistent messaging that's going on inside your own mind. I hope it's really important for you to understand that. Drama in your life is directly correlated to your own lack of balance. There is an association between caring and pain. Another Two of Swords reversed. Two moon energies, right? High Priestess has her moon underfoot, and there's a moon here. Yes, I know I pull a lot of cards. This is what happens in the comprehensive, guys. I take a lot, and we talk a lot, and the story evolves. Same as the Queen of Coins, same as the Nine of Coins, Empress. Queen of Cups. Ten of Cups. The worst that could happen is that you are happy. Another card of Temperance. We draw almost the whole deck with this many cards. Almost talk about the whole deck here. If you need a hermit mode, obviously that's fine. Uranus coming into Taurus, guys. There's big shifts, earthquakes, right? Uranus, electricity with the earth. There are earthquakes coming for you. And the more you resist, as always, like we always say, the more you resist, the harder it becomes. The more rigid you are, the harder it is. And we already got hit super hard in January, so there's really no need to go through it again. If you're feeling pulled towards something, go toward that thing. Okay? Like, there's always a risk, but the actual outcome is not really relevant. Like, what you actually get out of it is completely irrelevant. It's not about getting anything from that Six of Cups. It's not about getting anything from that person. It's about your own self-evolution. It's about courage. Okay? So that's it for you guys this month. I will see you next month, hopefully. But if you want to join me on the website for the comprehensive, then you will be free to do so. That link will be down below. Thank you guys so much. Bye-bye.